You're just one video away from generating your first 10 leads. Last week I released a video on this fairly new channel, and within the first 24 hours I generated 10 new leads. Now I'm going to break down the quickest and stupidly simple 7-step process I use to generate those leads, and the best part is it works for any business. So as I'm editing, I just realized that I forgot to point out one thing. This is just in the first 24 hours. Now imagine this video will keep getting views over time, and it might actually pick up and get more views over time. So imagine when I have 50, 100 videos doing the same exact thing. And I don't think people appreciate this part enough, but it's actually completely free. Many of those steps I didn't even implement in my previous channel, and over time I still was able to generate over 800 sales from that channel. So the first thing I did was I got very clear on who my avatar was. What's their name? How old are they? What's their pain point? What's keeping them up at night? What TV shows do they watch? Everything that I could figure out about that avatar, I did it. And later on in this video, you'll see exactly why this comes in handy. But I promise you, as much as you can find out about who you're going to be talking to, the easier everything else will be. And I highly encourage that you find out who your avatar is before you even film one video. And step number 2 is I had to find a topic that my avatar would be interested in. It's important that you don't do videos that you feel like making, but you know exactly what they would want. So knowing the frustrations of my avatar, I knew that one of their frustrations was they've put in so much time and effort, they've published 5, 10, 20 videos and are still seeing no results, and now they're thinking of quitting. So there are 2 angles that I could have taken with this. First, I could have created a video called How to Succeed on YouTube and essentially talk about the same key points, or I could name it Watch This Before Quitting YouTube. Which one would you click on? Before you answer that, there is a psychological reason why I went with Watch This Before Quitting YouTube instead of How to Succeed on YouTube. It's because as humans, we are hardwired to watch out for warnings. Anything that will contribute to our survival, we will notice it. And we would click on it much faster than we would on something that just targets our desire, which is how to succeed on YouTube. And though Watch This Before Quitting YouTube is not necessarily a warning, it definitely feels like it. So now that you understand how I picked the topic, the third part was the title. I had to pick a title that would make people click on it a lot more. So I had many options. I could have picked between, if you're thinking of quitting YouTube, watch this. I had another option which was 3 reasons YouTubers quit too early. I had many different options, but I went with the shorter, sweeter, and more punchy one, which was watch this, which contains a call to action right from the beginning before you quit YouTube. And it sounded more punchy and shorter. All right, if you can pick a title that's shorter, always go with that one. So either one of the others, they all covered the same topic, but this one, in my opinion, was a lot more effective. Because if you pick a title that's too long, it will be truncated and you'll have the ... and people will not be able to see the rest of the title on different devices. So it's better that you pick the shortest title that you can while still being able to create the same amount of intrigue in your viewer's mind. And number 4, I had to pick a thumbnail. So same idea with the title. The thumbnail must create a lot of intrigue and must cause people to stop scrolling just to see what this video is about. So I had 2 options. I had one version that said avoid these 3 mistakes, where my face was literally like this, 3 mistakes, and one that said I'm done, just with my face like I'm sad. Okay, so the idea was I'm done would be the feeling that the person is feeling, but it creates a lot of questions because what do you mean you're done? You just started this channel, or you're already quitting? They're not sure if I'm quitting or if this is just a representation of their own emotions. And avoid these 3 mistakes, it's like, what are these 3 mistakes? I wasn't sure which one would perform better, so I actually just did a split test. I put them both through YouTube A/B split testing tool, which would measure the results of both thumbnails, and the one that said I'm done outperformed. I think it was 60% versus 40%, and I think it's because it had a lot more emotion involved. And so as you get better, you will know exactly what makes people tick. But in the beginning, what I advise you do is research outliers. Okay, just look for videos on that topic that you're thinking of making that are outperforming the average of a channel. So if you see a channel with 10,000 subscribers and they have videos that are getting 1,000 views regularly, and one video gets 5,000 views, Ask yourself why. Analyze the thumbnail and the title. Those are more important than almost anything else in the video, is the topic, the title, and the thumbnail, because that's what makes people click. Okay, so if that video is getting views, that means people clicked on it initially. It doesn't matter how good your video is. If people are not clicking on it, it will not matter. Get used to analyzing outliers in your niche. And keep in mind, I am in the YouTube education space. This is one of the most saturated niches on YouTube, most competitive niches. Everybody has high quality content. Therefore, for me to get views, it will be a lot harder than for you to get views in your niche. So I guarantee you, whatever I'm teaching you here, if you apply it in your niche, you're likely to have much better results than you're seeing on my own channel. So once people have clicked on your video, the topic, title, and thumbnail have done their jobs. Number 5 is the intro. You must validate and hook the viewers in the first 30 seconds. It's the most critical time in your video because that's where you will lose more than half of your viewers. What I did in that video was I started the video by saying, having worked with and talked to people who have quit YouTube too early, they always make at least one of 3 critical mistakes. So that phrase right there does 2 things. It validated that this is exactly what I came here for. I'm thinking of quitting. I've put in so much work and I'm going to quit too early, and I don't want to quit. I want this to work, but it's not working for me. So I've validated that this video is going to answer their question. Okay, and number 2, I've given them a number. Number 3, an odd number. There's something about odd numbers that makes people click and tick. The second thing is I've hooked them because I've told them that they have 3 things to look forward to in the video. And so as they're watching the video and they get point number 1, point number 2, when people usually would think about quitting halfway through the video, now they must stay till the end because they know, hey, there's just one more point left. I must figure it out. It's going to create an itch, an intrigue in their minds that they must get the answer to. And it will bother them if they don't get the third one, if they only got 1 and they don't know what the next 2 are, or if they got 2 and they don't get the last one. So automatically you will keep your retention much higher throughout the video by giving them a certain amount of points that you're going to be covering. So now that I've convinced you that this video is for you and you're invested in what I have to say, I'm going to start delivering on my promise. So I'm going to give you point number 1, point number 2, and usually at that point 2/3 through the video, or about 75% through the video, or my key points, I will drop in a call to action. And that call to action is what you came here for, which is point number 6, which is collecting emails, generating leads. So at this point, I have created a freebie, which is a 4-week checklist, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, exactly what to do to start a profitable YouTube channel. And I'm offering it to them in exchange for their emails. So this is how you're going to start generating leads. So what I did was I pointed them to the description where I have a link of that freebie. They can click on it, put their email, and they get access to that freebie, which will help them start a profitable YouTube channel. So I broke down everything step by step so they don't have to do any thinking. They just have to follow exactly what I say in that checklist. And having said that, you can actually download this checklist right now under this video. You'll find the checklist to help you if you are trying to build a YouTube channel and you want a step-by-step plan for the next 4 weeks. And also inside that checklist at the bottom, you'll find the resources section. You'll find the one tool that I use to create the landing page, deliver that freebie to those subscribers, and send automated messages to them. And once I've called them to action, I will continue to provide value. So I've given them 2 key points at this point. I give them a call to action, and then I'll give point number 3. So after I'm done with point number 3 is the last and very critical part of this video, which is point number 7, which is going to be asking them to watch another video. And the reason why this is so critical is because YouTube's goal is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. And so if people watch your video, and because of your video, they go and watch another video, and because of that next video, they watch another video, and now you have somebody coming to your channel and watching 2-3 videos, YouTube will reward you for it, because that is how they make money. YouTube makes money by having people stay on the platform for as long as possible and showing them as many ads as possible. So if you can help YouTube make money, they will reward you with views. And in that video, I asked them to go watch the next video that's related to what they just watched. And not so good click-through rate on YouTube is about 1 to 3%. And a good click-through rate is about 5 to 15%. And in that video, I got about 10. So I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm aiming for 15, 20%, but right now I have 10, which is actually a pretty good click-through rate for a video on YouTube. And so what that means is that out of 100 people who potentially saw me ask them to go watch another video, about 10 of them actually clicked on that link. And the video that I asked them to watch at the end is actually this video, which is going to teach you how to find your avatar and identify your niche, which is the very first thing you need to do if you want to succeed on YouTube. So I highly recommend that you do the same and watch this video next.